Hello there, and welcome to this moment in art history. Today, we are going to examine the very early roots of modern art, the very first people to ever break away from the classic European tradition. Now, as we go through this unit, I want you to remember that we are only talking about one art form from one part of the country. Every culture always has created a wide variety of arts to express their talents, as we continue to today. However, for this adventure, we're going to be looking at modern Western European art, which started around 1850. Before we get too far into realism, the first modern art movement, we should review where it came from as we discuss its predecessor, as we examine the three major themes of classical art, which are religious narratives, portraits of influential people, and Greek and Roman allegory. Again, Bible stories, portraits of influential people, and Greek and Roman mythology. Bible stories, portraits, Greek and Roman mythology. Everybody, Bible stories, portraits, and Greek and Roman mythology. But this all changed with the dawn of modern art. Before we move any further, it's time to think about what could have led to the development of this new art movement. It could have been the Industrial Revolution, or maybe the French Revolution. Easy access to newspapers, the miserable living conditions of the poor. All of these things helped artists start this new way of thinking in contemporary and using art as a voice. Gustave Courbet, author of the Realist Manifesto, highlights these as he informs us that artists cannot talk about the past. They can only talk about their present, their truth, and their beauty. Meaning that artists can only paint what they know. This painting, entitled The Gleaners by Jean-Francios Millet, depicts three peasant women gleaning or gathering leftover stray wheat after the harvest. This painting is world famous for its sympathetic portrayal of the rural, lower class peasants of French society. I told you that realism was a bold art movement, shocking, daring, challenged what people thought about art. And then I showed you a painting of women picking up grass. I'm sure you're puzzled, wondering how is such a work considered so bold, when really it's a simple, humble subject matter. To further elaborate on this, I want us to compare the Gleaners with the famous work of art completed in a classical style. Now we are viewing Madonna and Child, created by Raphael in the 1500s, alongside the Gleaners. Both of these paintings are large-scale oil paintings. Both of them are paintings of women. Both of them are completed in a very realistic or representational style. I would even add that both of these paintings are about a mother and the love she has for her family. Mary is shown holding her baby Jesus close, and the Gleaners, although peasants, are hard at work gathering food for their family. That is motherly love. What, Mr. Shear? You're supposed to be telling us how these paintings are radically different, and you show us a painting of the exact same thing. How? How is this revolutionary? Well, now let's take a second and examine the vast differences between the two paintings. In this painting, we see Mary, the mother of Jesus, the virgin chosen by God to bear his son. One of the most famous and influential women in the history of Western civilization. Also, Mary and Jesus are looking directly into the viewer's eyes, where you can actually see the love of Mary and her portal to the soul. Although Millet is still concerned with conveying the love and compassion mothers have for their families, he chose peasant women, the lowest of the low, people who couldn't even afford food. And these people don't even have the time from their back-breaking hard work to look up and notice you noticing them. Important this art movement is. It allowed for what the French called l'art pour l'art, or art for art's sake. Art divorced of having to do anything besides simply exist and show the viewer how the artist felt. To Millet and Courbet, the rest of the art world is forever thankful. And also, viewer, I thank you for your time and attention. I hope you enjoyed this film and found it enlightening. Maybe you learned something. And until next time, don't worry. Be happy.